Good morning, dear friends. This is Meaningful Living, a channel where we share tips for a fulfilling life. Today, we're diving into the world of morning rituals that can transform your day and fill you with energy, clarity, and a sense of harmony. After all, each new day is a new opportunity to take care of yourself, and it begins the moment you wake up. Allow me to share some wisdom that will help your body work like clockwork, filling your life with meaning and vitality. Waking up your body. Water, the key to longevity. Every morning starts with waking up, and it's at this moment that our bodies are particularly vulnerable. Overnight, your body loses water through breathing, through your skin, even when you're just sleeping peacefully. This becomes even more crucial after age 60, when blood vessel elasticity decreases, digestion works less efficiently, and kidneys don't perform as effectively as before. Ancient Roman physicians used to say, "Illness enters us through habits," and drinking water is one of those habits that can either strengthen health or undermine it, if done incorrectly. Mistakes to avoid in the morning. A very common mistake is drinking cold water immediately after waking up. Yes, it might seem invigorating, but for an aging body, it's like a shock to your blood vessels. Cold constricts capillaries, your stomach tenses up, and you might experience spasms or even blood pressure spikes. This is especially dangerous for people with hypertension. Buddhists who practice meditation and morning rituals always start their day with warm water, around 86 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 to 40 degrees Celsius. It gently awakens digestion, activates the liver, and helps the body transition into the day peacefully. Equally important is how you drink. Quickly, all at once. This creates an immediate strain on the heart, sharply increasing blood volume, which can lead to swelling or blood pressure spikes, especially if you have heart failure. It's better to drink slowly, little by little, paying attention to how you feel. Scientists from the Tokyo Institute of Gerontology note that slow water intake improves blood flow to the brain in older adults. The third common mistake is taking morning medications with water on an empty stomach, without knowing which medications require food. Some medications can irritate the stomach, causing nausea, heartburn, and in the long term, even ulcers. The safest approach is to consult your doctor and know exactly what you can drink in the morning and what should only be taken after food. This is particularly relevant if you take more than 3 medications daily. Many people add lemon, baking soda, or vinegar to their water, following online advice. But not every stomach can handle this. Lemon increases acidity, vinegar can irritate the mucous membrane, and baking soda disrupts the acid-alkaline balance. This can lead to pain, spasms, and in the long term, gastritis. In the morning, water should be plain, without additives. As they said in Taoist medicine, the pure heals, the complex destroys. Sometimes people think they can limit themselves to water and skip breakfast. But after age 60, this is especially risky. Without breakfast, blood sugar levels drop, the brain doesn't get enough nourishment, leading to weakness and dizziness. Water is just the beginning. It should be followed by a light but nutritious breakfast. For example, oatmeal, an omelette, or cottage cheese. At this age, proteins, vitamins, and complex carbohydrates are especially important to maintain energy and regenerate tissues. Golden rules for your morning ritual. There's a simple formula. 1 glass of warm water, approximately 8.5 ounces immediately after waking up. Drink slowly, in small sips, without lemons or other additives. Consider your medication intake and have breakfast 15 to 20 minutes later. A monk in Nepal once said, "You care for your temple, so start with a drop of water." Just place a glass next to your bed, and every morning will begin with the right step. If you follow these principles, you'll notice a difference within a week. More clarity in the morning, less dizziness, stabilized blood pressure, reduced swelling, easier digestion, and more consistent energy. This isn't magic, it's biology and consistency. Thousands of people worldwide report such changes when they incorporate conscious water drinking into their lives. Simple things for big changes. The main thing is ahead. Sometimes simple things work better than any complex schemes. For example, a glass of water in the morning sounds simple, but if done correctly, it can help your heart, kidneys, brain, and even joints. Morning water can truly boost circulation, reduce the risk of blood clots, and gently wake up the body, especially if it's not ice-cold water from the fridge, but warm, closer to body temperature. The ancient Romans said that the day begins not with dawn, but with the first sip, and there's truth in that. If you care about your joints, consider gelatin or collagen, but not on an empty stomach, rather after a meal and, of course, after consulting your doctor. This can be a supplement or natural sources like aspic, broths, and glucosamine-rich foods. Buddhist monks have used rich bone broths for centuries to strengthen the body in old age, and for good reason. Modern research confirms that the amino acids in gelatin indeed support joint and ligament health. For your brain, it's even simpler. A glass of water plus a breakfast with healthy fats, walnuts, flax seeds, fish. These are sources of omega-3s, which improve nervous system function, help focus, and support memory. Scientists at Harvard note that regular consumption of fatty acids and adequate hydration improve cognitive functions in people over 60. Kidneys are another important topic. They definitely won't like it if you chug a liter of water at night, especially cold water. This can cause swelling and overload your urinary system, which slows down with age. It's better to drink water in small portions throughout the day and not leave a water debt for late evening. And when it comes to the heart, the morning ritual is again crucial. Warm water, drunk slowly, helps blood circulate more easily, reduces viscosity, and can even lessen the risk of heart attacks. An interesting fact: in Japan, this has become part of a state program for preventing cardiovascular diseases in older adults. A simple action, a real result. When you build your morning rhythm with these details in mind, it's no longer just a habit, but a thoughtful step towards longevity. One glass of water can change a lot, especially if you understand why you're doing it. And it's these small, conscious actions that form overall well-being, mental clarity, and energy for the entire day. Additional morning rituals. Another important morning ritual that's often underestimated is light movement or simple exercises. You don't need to immediately jump out of bed and start doing hula hoops or bending over. It's enough to stretch in bed, do a few gentle rotations of your wrists, ankles, and neck. This movement helps boost circulation after a night's rest and gradually activates the nervous system. In ancient China, it was believed that the body's energy awakens with the joints, and they should be awakened first. Studies show that even 5 minutes of morning stretching can improve mobility and reduce inflammation levels in older adults. An equally powerful tool is a proper breakfast, especially if it contains protein. After 60, the body loses muscle mass faster, and without enough protein, general weakening begins. Good options include cottage cheese, eggs, unsweetened yogurt, or lean fish. One interesting food is soft-boiled eggs. They are easily digestible, rich in choline, which supports the brain, and contain all essential amino acids. Scientists from the Netherlands have found that a regular protein breakfast helps stabilize blood sugar levels and prevents sudden mood swings and fatigue throughout the day. If you add complex carbohydrates like oatmeal or buckwheat to this, you'll get an excellent foundation for morning energy. Oatmeal, especially prepared with water or plant-based milk and added flax seeds or prunes, creates a gentle feeling of fullness, doesn't overload the stomach, and supports digestion. Buddhist monks in Tibet often start their day with warm porridge because it warms the stomach and mind, as they say. Modern science confirms complex carbohydrates help maintain blood glucose levels and nourish the brain for several hours ahead. Many underestimate the benefits of a simple warm infusion, such as chamomile, mint, or fennel. All of these work great in the morning, especially if you want to gently stimulate digestion. Infusions can replace water but can also complement its effect. Roman physicians often used fennel decoction to soothe the stomach and aid digestion after sleep. This is especially helpful for those prone to bloating or stomach heaviness. Separate attention should be paid to oil, but not in the form we usually see it in a frying pan. Consuming a teaspoon of unrefined olive or flaxseed oil on an empty stomach in the morning can have a mild choleretic effect and improve bowel function. In Mediterranean culture, this is almost a ritual. Older people start their morning with oil and consider it liquid gold. Oil is rich in antioxidants and polyunsaturated fatty acids, which have a beneficial effect on the heart, blood vessels, and skin. An interesting practice to consider is aromatherapy. Not for everyone, but for many, scents act as a trigger for a good state. The aroma of lemon, orange, rosemary, or lavender can gently awaken the nervous system and improve mood. Scientists in Japan noticed that in the homes of older adults where citrus essential oils were used, anxiety levels were significantly lower, and daytime activity was higher. Just a few drops in an aroma lamp or on a pillow can become part of your morning ritual. For those who want to improve memory and attention, you can include rosemary tea in your morning. Its essential compounds stimulate the brain and improve cognitive functions. In ancient Rome, students wore rosemary wreaths before exams, believing it helped keep thoughts clear. Modern research confirms the scent of rosemary improves information processing speed in older adults and helps with concentration. It's also worth mentioning golden milk, a drink made with warm plant-based milk and turmeric. This recipe comes from the Ayurvedic tradition, and there's a grain of truth in it. Turmeric has a pronounced anti-inflammatory effect, and with the addition of a pinch of black pepper, its activity increases manifold. This drink shouldn't be consumed on an empty stomach, but it can be an excellent part of a morning breakfast, especially if you have joint pain or want to support your immune system. And finally, one of the simplest yet most powerful morning actions is the practice of gratitude. A few minutes to recall what you're grateful for today requires no effort but forms a very powerful mindset for the day. In the Buddhist tradition, the morning begins with a bow and a mantra of gratitude for the body having awakened. Psychologists today speak of this as a mindfulness practice. It reduces stress, strengthens the psyche, and improves overall well-being. Each of these rituals is simple in itself, but if at least 2 or 3 of them become part of your morning, they begin to change your overall state. Regularity, self-care, a gentle start to the day. All of this works no worse than medicine, and sometimes even better. What not to do in the morning? One of the most common yet underestimated morning mistakes is getting out of bed abruptly. Many people have a habit of immediately standing up as soon as they wake up, especially if they're afraid of falling back asleep or losing time. But with age, such abruptness can be dangerous. After a night's sleep, blood thickens, blood pressure can be unstable, and a sudden rise carries a risk of dizziness, loss of balance, and even falling. Doctors advise first to sit on the edge of the bed, stretch, take a couple of deep breaths, and rotate your feet and hands. This helps to gently activate blood circulation and avoid a sudden jump in blood pressure. Another harmful habit is skipping your morning meal. This is especially common among those trying to lose weight or simply not feeling hungry in the morning. But after age 60, this becomes not just ineffective, but harmful. Prolonged fasting in the morning can lead to a drop in blood sugar, weakness, impaired concentration, and metabolic disturbances. Moreover, for older adults, breakfast is a way to stabilize hormone levels and provide energy for the first half of the day. Lean protein, some fats, complex carbohydrates. All of this creates a stable foundation and protects against declines in energy and mood. Some start their morning with a cup of strong coffee on an empty stomach. While it might simply invigorate in youth, in older age, it can cause serious harm. Caffeine irritates the stomach lining, promotes increased acidity, and can cause heartburn, spasms, and with regular consumption, even gastritis. For people with high blood pressure, coffee on an empty stomach often causes a blood pressure spike and an unpleasant heart rate. It's best to move your cup of coffee to mid-morning, after breakfast, and monitor the quantity. No more than 1 or 2 small servings per day. Very often, older adults start their morning by watching news or TV. This seems harmless, but if a stream of disturbing or negative information enters your consciousness in the morning, your psyche is under tension from the very first minutes. This triggers hidden stress, raises cortisol levels, and can even lead to blood pressure spikes or an anxious state. It's much more beneficial to dedicate the first half hour to quiet, pleasant music, breathing exercises, or a walk. Buddhist monks, for example, begin their morning with silence and meditation. This allows them to maintain inner peace throughout the day. Some start their morning with a cigarette. Even 1 cigarette after waking up increases blood vessel constriction, makes blood thicker, raises the risk of thrombosis, and impairs oxygen supply to the brain and heart. In older age, the body already operates with less reserve, and even a small impact on blood vessels can have consequences. If it's difficult to quit smoking completely right now, at least try to postpone the first cigarette to a later time and try to reduce their number throughout the day. It's also dangerous to ignore morning body sensations. Older adults often attribute morning joint pain, dizziness, or shortness of breath to age and simply endure it. But it's in the morning hours that many hidden problems manifest: blood pressure, cardiac arrhythmia, dehydration, worsening joint function. If these signals are ignored, you can miss the moment when the problem could have been easily resolved. Therefore, it's important not just to wake up and forget, but to tune into a mindful attitude towards your body. For example, the Roman philosopher Seneca believed that a person who ignores the signals of their body betrays it. Perceiving your morning state as a diagnostic tool helps prevent many chronic complications. An equally harmful habit is abruptly turning on bright artificial light immediately after waking up, especially during the darker months of the year. Harsh light can disrupt the natural waking rhythm, cause headaches, eye irritation, and even mood swings. Ideally, the morning should begin with soft lighting or natural sunlight, if possible. Gradual increase in brightness helps the eyes adapt and the brain switch to wakefulness mode without stress. One more point: the habit of immediately checking blood pressure and pulse after waking up without cause. While monitoring your condition is important, especially with chronic diseases, too frequent measurements without real complaints can have the opposite effect. People start to worry, look for deviations even if there are none, and thus provoke stress and fixation on health. It's important to understand that well-being should be the primary guide, and devices are just a tool for confirmation, not a replacement for the internal sense of balance. Foods for an ideal morning 55+. One of the most valuable foods for an older person's morning is oatmeal. Simple, accessible, yet incredibly beneficial. Oatmeal slowly raises blood sugar levels, doesn't overload the pancreas, and provides a long-lasting feeling of fullness. It's rich in soluble fiber, which helps lower bad cholesterol levels and nourishes beneficial bacteria in the gut. Older adults often suffer from slowed digestion and constipation, and oatmeal, especially prepared with water or plant-based milk with added flax seeds or prunes, gently stimulates peristalsis and restores GI tract function. If you add a pinch of cinnamon and a little honey, such a breakfast will become not only healthy but also a pleasant ritual. The next food is pumpkin seeds. They are easy to underestimate, but they hide a real treasure trove of magnesium, zinc, and iron, elements that older adults often lack. Just 1 tablespoon a day is enough to strengthen the heart, improve sleep quality, and even stabilize mood. Magnesium participates in hundreds of biochemical processes, helps fight spasms, and normalizes blood pressure. If you add a little pumpkin seeds to your porridge or yogurt in the morning, it will already be a powerful support for your nervous system. Don't forget about kefir or natural yogurt. For an aging body, maintaining gut microflora is the foundation of immunity and a good mood. Fermented dairy products contain probiotics that regulate digestion, improve vitamin absorption, and help cope with inflammatory processes. The combination of kefir with a spoon of ground flaxseed is especially beneficial. It helps remove toxins, gently cleanses the intestines, and improves metabolism. The main thing is to choose products without sugar and artificial additives. An apple on an empty stomach is an old but working method. Apple skin contains pectin, which coats the stomach lining and cleanses the intestines. Apples stimulate saliva production and improve appetite, and also help normalize blood sugar levels. They can be combined with nuts or added to warm porridge. You'll get a satisfying and healthy breakfast. In Chinese medicine, they say that 1 apple in the morning provides more benefits than medicine because it wakes up the liver and pancreas. An old monastic recipe includes a decoction of ginger root, cloves, cardamom, and mint leaves. This drink was consumed by Buddhists in the Himalayas before meditations to clear the mind and prepare the body for practice. To prepare it, take a small piece of fresh ginger, 3 clove buds, 2 cardamom seeds, and a few fresh mint leaves. Pour hot water over it all and steep for 10 minutes. Such a decoction improves circulation, warms, eases breathing, and mint helps relieve anxiety and tension. It can be drunk in small sips in the morning before meals, especially in cold weather. Black cumin is a product known since ancient Egypt. Its oil was used to treat weakness, loss of strength, and inflammation. A few drops of black cumin oil added to warm water or kefir improve immunity, activate metabolism, and protect against colds. It also helps with joint problems and high cholesterol. The main thing is not to exceed the dosage. A quarter teaspoon in the morning is enough, not on an empty stomach, but preferably after a small meal. Nuts are a source of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin E, and antioxidants. Walnuts are especially beneficial. They strengthen blood vessels, nourish the brain, and improve memory. Roman treatises stated that walnuts are food for philosophers because they promote mental clarity. A few walnut halves a day with porridge or fruit, and this is already natural support for cognitive functions. It's also worth mentioning black sesame seeds. In ancient Chinese medicine, they were called seeds of longevity. They are rich in calcium, phosphorus, zinc, and antioxidants. For older adults, they help maintain bone health, strengthen hair, and preserve eyesight. Black sesame seeds can be lightly toasted in a dry pan and added to porridge or salads, or ground into tahini paste and spread on bread or crackers. A special place is occupied by barley decoction. In Japanese tradition, it's called water of youth. It normalizes digestion, lowers blood sugar, and saturates with B vitamins. To prepare it, pour a tablespoon of barley with a liter of water, boil for about 20 minutes, and steep covered. This decoction can be drunk warm on an empty stomach or throughout the day. It doesn't cause sharp blood sugar spikes, is well absorbed, and helps with chronic fatigue. Chia seeds are another morning superfood. They absorb water and turn into a jelly-like mass that gently cleanses the intestines, slows down sugar absorption, and provides long-lasting satiety. They are rich in calcium, omega-3 acids, and antioxidants. They can be soaked overnight in plant-based milk and eaten in the morning with berries and honey. This is a light but nutritious breakfast, especially if you have digestive problems or a poor appetite. Such foods, included in the morning diet, can significantly improve well-being, increase energy levels, regulate the work of the heart, brain, and digestion, and most importantly, restore a sense of vigor and zest for life from the very first hours of the new day. Unusual but effective morning foods. One product often underestimated in the morning is figs, especially dried ones. Figs, soaked overnight in warm water, become soft and enriched in the morning, and their beneficial substances are more easily absorbed. Figs are rich in potassium, magnesium, iron, and fiber. They help gently cleanse the intestines, normalize blood pressure, and contribute to heart muscle recovery. In Mediterranean countries, older people traditionally started their morning with 2 or 3 soaked figs, sometimes adding a little olive oil. This combination strengthens immunity and helps with constipation. Another powerful morning food is black beans. In traditional Eastern medicine, they are considered food of longevity. Rich in protein and antioxidants, black beans support kidney health, improve blood formation, and help fight fatigue. They can be prepared in advance and added to vegetable soup puree or a warm salad in the morning. It's especially beneficial to combine beans with turmeric and a drop of lemon juice. This enhances their anti-inflammatory properties. Sunflower seeds, especially sprouted ones, become a true elixir of youth. Sprouts contain active enzymes, B vitamins, vitamin E, and live trace elements. They improve memory, eyesight, skin condition, and normalize hormonal balance. Sprouts can be added to porridges, cottage cheese, green smoothies, or simply eaten 1 tablespoon in the morning. In ancient Indian Ayurvedic practice, such live foods were considered awakening food that fills the body with solar energy. Don't forget about persimmons. This is not just a sweet fruit, but a true natural source of antioxidants, beta-carotene, pectin, and potassium. Persimmons help the heart, improve eyesight, support immunity, and are especially useful for blood vessel problems. The main thing is to choose ripe, soft persimmons and eat them not on an empty stomach, but 30 to 40 minutes after water. You can make a persimmon salad with nuts and soft cheese. You get a nutritious and light breakfast that doesn't overload the stomach. Separately, it's worth mentioning an ancient Buddhist morning infusion recipe practiced by monks in the cold regions of Tibet and Nepal. It included dried goji berries, astragalus root, a few rose petals, and dried mandarin peel. All this was poured with hot water and steeped for 10 to 15 minutes. Such an infusion was drunk in the morning before meditation. It cleared breathing, supported the lungs, improved circulation, and tuned the mind to calm. Astragalus enhances the body's defenses, rose relieves anxiety, mandarin peel aids digestion, and goji berries nourish the liver and strengthen eyesight. The infusion has a mild aroma and a slightly sweet taste. Morning quinoa porridge is another ancient recipe that comes to us from the tradition of South American tribes. Quinoa contains all 9 essential amino acids, making it especially valuable for older adults. It is easily digestible, supports muscles, and provides energy. Quinoa can be cooked with coconut milk, adding banana, dates, and cinnamon. Such a breakfast nourishes the brain, stabilizes blood sugar levels, and provides long-lasting satiety. Also a good morning helper is ghee butter, clarified butter, which is considered gold of longevity in India. 1 teaspoon of ghee butter in the morning, added to porridge or melted in warm water with turmeric, improves digestion, lubricates joints, and supports the nervous system. Ancient texts say that ghee nourishes the mind and makes speech clear, and modern science confirms its antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Honey with turmeric is another morning recipe known since ancient times. If you mix half a teaspoon of honey with a pinch of freshly ground turmeric and eat it on an empty stomach, it will help strengthen immunity, reduce inflammation in the joints, and gently awaken the body. Turmeric activates liver function and improves blood cleansing, and honey nourishes the brain and improves mood. It's important to use natural raw honey, not subjected to heat treatment. The importance of morning mindfulness. The morning of an older person can become a time of recovery if it's filled with the right habits and foods. Everything that supports the body with gentle care becomes a foundation for a long and active life. And each of these simple gifts of nature works especially effectively in the morning, when the body is open to perception and ready for a new day. Video conclusion. That concludes our video today on the importance of morning rituals. Remember that self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity, especially after age 55. Every step, every conscious choice made with love for yourself, shapes our health, mood, and longevity. I hope these tips will be useful to you and help make each of your mornings truly meaningful, filled with purpose. If you liked this video, please give it a like. It helps the channel grow, and we'll know that such topics are relevant to you. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Let's create a community together where we support each other on the path to a healthy and harmonious life. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next video on the Meaningful Living channel. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones.